Hello friends, and a very warm welcome to the Sunday Catch-Up. My name's Adam Holmes. I'm a songwriter from here in Edinburgh in Scotland, and over the last 13 years I've made 8 albums. I've built 500,000 followers. I've done thousands of concerts. I've built a creative health community on the internet inside of my club. There's 650 members inside of there, and ultimately I'm a songwriter, I'm a coach, I'm a singer. And I'm telling you these things not to impress you, but just to earn a little bit of your trust that you might think this short episode could be worth a wee bit of your time today. A very happy Sunday. It's a lovely, lovely day here in Edinburgh, and where I live, we're really lucky. We've got trees on the street. And for the first time today, guys, you can see those little buds just starting to pop out on the trees. And it's such a nice feeling. It really feels like we've made it through the toughest bit of the winter, and we're into the summer now, we're into the spring, and it's feeling great. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you've had a great week. I, this week, have started a crowdfunder campaign for my 9th album. And there's a few reasons behind why I've started the crowdfunder. Number one, is just to create the capital that's required. Quite a good amount of capital is required to make a really high quality record. I want this record to be incredibly high quality. I want it to be very collaborative and adventurous. I want to reach outside of my comfort zone and build something way bigger than the last few records that I've built. And I also want to document the process and make a kind of cinematic film. So I've decided that I'm going to raise £20,000 in 30 days. Another massive, massive reason behind, and possibly even the main reason behind why I've picked this goal, is because it feels like a really big goal. To raise something like £10,000 while still a huge achievement. I've done that before. To raise 20,000, it just feels like that level up, and it's requiring me to use a different part of my mind, use a different part of my energy, and really lean into the belief that it's possible. As many of you guys will know, I'm a coach. I'm coaching a few people who are doing crowdfunders right now, and it has just felt unfair for me to say to them, here's how I would do it, here's what you could do better, and not put myself in that fire myself. The other aspect to it is a lot of people have very negative opinions about people going online and asking for money for their creative projects. I've seen this since I was a little boy, and I used to do busking in Edinburgh and play the fiddle, and I've seen it all the way up to crowdfunding as an adult. And I think it's just a fundamental misunderstanding of what money is and how it works, because back in the day you would have had record labels. Record labels took a bunch of money off of people in society and gave artists a little bit of that money. But the bottom line is there's never been great things created without great pools of capital. That's just how it is. It takes pools of capital to bring people together. Capital is the means we use to trust large groups of people and bring them together and create great things. So this week I've set myself the challenge and the soul work of raising £20,000 in 30 days. And the way crowdfunding works, if I don't get that capital in 30 days, if you don't meet the full amount, you get nothing. So it's all or nothing. So it's I'm putting myself in the fire, but I'm up for that. And it leads in beautifully into what I want to talk to you guys about today, which is intention. I think intention is focus and clarity. I think intention is purity of heart. And I think in each of us, there's 2 wolves. One wants validation, and one wants resonance. Now, I think many of us don't understand the difference between validation and resonance. What do I mean by that? Let me unpack it a little bit. If I was to create a song and I was to seek validation, the energy of validation is a very weak and unsupported energy. The energy of validation is, please help me believe in this thing that I don't believe in. Whereas the energy of resonance and truth is the energy of groundedness. I love this idea, I love this song, and I know that other people will love this idea and love this song. And the beautiful thing about this difference between validation and resonance is you can really apply it anywhere. If you know that you're an excellent parent, you don't need people to tell you you're an excellent parent. And an excellent parent is a subjective thing. One person might think that a tremendous amount of discipline is required to be an excellent parent. One person might think letting your child have free will is an excellent way to raise a child. And really, as people, our role in life, our job in life is to become the most of ourselves that we can become, and then find the other people who resonate with what we do. And so much of my work as a songwriter has been about creating these albums, creating these concert experiences, creating my club, and putting out my vibration, emitting my vibration to attract like-minded, resonant individuals. Intention is a decision to maintain the value of resonance. What do I mean by that? Well, if I set out to make an album, along the path of album doesn't exist, all the way to album exists, I'm going to encounter many twists and turns. I'm going to encounter many challenges. And I'm going to encounter many ways upon my intention and upon my attention, in the sense that no matter how pure your intention is, the devil lives in all of us. And I don't mean the devil in a secularly religious sense. I just mean that part of you that wants to pull you off the path is constantly present. And it's never been more present with the rise of devices, with the rise of so many of these pulls on your attention. Pure desire equals intention. What do I mean by that? Well, you could have a thought, I want to be an opera singer. And that's a very pure desire. You could have a thought, I want to be a salsa dancer. That's a very pure desire. A child would put no layers upon that kind of desire. A child would simply want and move towards. Now, as we grow older, we tend to put layers on things. Now, that's the unconscious mind. You could think, I want to be a salsa dancer. But then that layer, that conditioning of your own, perhaps parental experience kicks in. That's silly to think that. You shouldn't think that. That's not possible. You're too old. You're too fat. You're too thin. All that stuff is conditioning. Those are layers upon the pure desire of your intention. Intention is self-generated momentum. Self-generated momentum is strong. Externally generated momentum is weak. Again, coming back to the difference between validation and resonance, this is simply another way of saying that. Self-generated momentum or internally generated momentum says, this is my path. This is the correct move for me. Externally generated momentum is a question. Hey guys, do you think I can do this? Do you think this is possible? Why? Why do you want what you want? This is a massive part of uncovering the intention behind your actions. Because you can want things from different places and it creates a completely different foundation and a completely different energy and momentum moving forwards. Unintentional behavior often comes from unnatural programming. The unexamined life is not worth living. So if you're running around in your life, if you ever find yourself running around in your life in an unexamined fashion, what you'll tend to find is there is no intention there. I gave an example last week on the Sunday catch-up of an obsession about a watch. I got so obsessed about a watch that I wasn't even in my life anymore. I was just so obsessed about how am I going to get this watch? How am I going to create this, have this result of having this watch in my life? But I hadn't really examined the intention behind the action. Now, you could have an intention behind getting a watch, which was, I want to blow my own mind. I want to be an example. I want to have more of life, right? And all those things could give you energy. They could all give you life. Or you could have the unexamined version and just you're with blinders on. You're just blindly moving towards a goal with no kind of intention behind it. It's scary to live in that kind of way. There's two sides, the examples of the two sides, right? The two sides, one being unexamined, one being the pure energy of intention. Getting money. If you're getting money for no reason other than because you feel on some level that you should and you're conditioned to think that, then you're going to burn yourself out and you're going to drive yourself into some kind of miserable existence. Whereas if you're getting money from the space of, I want to be an example of what's possible, I want to provide for the people I love, it's a completely different foundation from which to move your energy from. Losing fat. Well, you could think, I'm not good enough, I'm a terrible person, I don't look good, and you could drive all your actions from that intention. Or you could think again, I want to be an example of what's possible. I want to love myself more. I want to have a healthy body. And how do you think you're going to eat? How do you think you're going to function from those two beliefs, right? So the intention behind it is so important. Being a great parent, is that competitive? Is that to be competitive against friends and family or your partner? Or is it to give your child a really great upbringing? I know that seems like a savage example, but you do see it. Dressing well, is it to hide something or is it to make more of something? There's a guy who walks around the centre of Edinburgh and he just wears like 50s stuff all the time. And he just looks amazing. And it's just so obvious that he's taken such a sense of joy and pride and personal creative identity from choosing to dress in such a way. And it's joyful. But then you could see maybe a businessman who's dressed in his suit and feels there's no intention behind it other than I will do the bare minimum to present myself as this avatar, as this character. Examples, working hard. There's another great example. You could work hard from a space of, I'm not good enough. It's better over there than it is here, and burn yourself out. Or you could work hard from a space of, I want to blow my own mind. I want to learn what I'm capable of. And you see how it's such a different energy that you're going to bring. Intention is the energy or the fuel used for the journey. Good intention is energizing. Bad intention is depleting. This is all you need to know with regards to intention. How you feel is going to be your biggest clue on which part of your intention you're using. As I mentioned before, I'm running this crowdfunder, and a big part of the reason that I want to run the crowdfunder is to as an opportunity for me to come from an excellent intention in all moments. And I know that if I continually refer to my intention, it can either be energizing or depleting. And that can be my metric. It's not like I'm never ever going to fall into bad intention within the path of raising £20,000 in 30 days. It can happen. I'm human. But when I'm feeling depleted, that's my moment to step away. That's my moment to reassess. Hold on. Why am I doing this? Why am I in this process? And for me, whenever I come back to a good intention behind anything, I feel my energy start to rise again. I've thought of 5 questions, and I think these 5 questions can help you to examine where your intention is coming from and determine whether you like the source of that intention. But if I was going to give one piece of, if I was going to offer one piece of advice, which helps me tremendously, is just, are you feeling energized or are you feeling depleted? And therein lies the clue. But the first question is, do I like my reason? So you could be having a goal to lose weight. You could have a goal to gain money. You could have a goal to quit your job. You could have a goal to find a new partner. You could have a goal to get muscle. You could have a goal to be a better parent. You could have a goal to move house. The goal's not important. The reason behind it is important. Do you like your reason? Now, this is an amazing, amazing question which can counsel you through all sorts of tricky situations. Because at the end of the day, what's going to matter in 10 years is the reason behind why you made the decision, not necessarily the decision itself. If your reason is one of scarcity, if your reason is one of low self-worth, then that's always what you're going to come up against later on in the process. To give a clear example, I could have set my target on the crowdfunder for £10,000. What would my reason be there? Well, my reason would be something like, that's a reasonable amount to expect. That's possible. I've done it before. I've done it before as the most insidious obstacle to your own growth. Do you like your reason? It's a great question. Number 2, according to who? This is a question which I use constantly to examine whether my programming is coming from some conditioned place or from my own best interest, from my own best desire. According to who? £20,000 is a lot of money to raise in 30 days. According to who? Well, if you were a hedge fund manager who raises billions every year, then according to them, that would be a infinitesimal, minuscule amount of money. According to someone who has just made their first £100 as an artist, then £20,000 is going to seem like a ridiculous, tremendous amount of money. So according to who? Ask yourself. Losing 20 pounds of fat is unrealistic. According to who? Kids should be seen and not heard. According to who? Ask yourself, and you'll be amazed by the answers that you find. A man should be, a woman should be, all these operating systems that you have running within you. Ask yourself, according to who? And ask yourself, according to who, when you're suffering. If you're not suffering, you don't really need to ask yourself any of these questions. The third question which could help you uncover your intention, your true intention. How could I get my own respect? Who would I have to be? What would I have to do to get my own respect? Again, coming back to this concept of validation and resonance. Resonance is about your own respect. If you can create and build something, take out in the world, find the people who resonate with it. The way that you're going to do that is by creating something that really gets your own respect. So how could I get my own respect today? Number 4, what am I ashamed to admit? What do you want? What do you really want to have in your life? Do you want to have a six-pack? It doesn't, by the way, guys, it doesn't have to be really deep. It could be really shallow. But what do you want to have? What are you ashamed to admit that you want to have? Do you want to have a really amazing relationship? Do you want to have a really casual relationship? Do you want to have a six-pack? Do you want to gain muscle? Do you want to have £1 million? Do you want to have a class where you teach painting? Do you want to have a great relationship with your kids? Do you want to have a great relationship with your kids' friends? What do you really, really want? What are you ashamed to admit? Now, I find for myself, Often the thing I'm most ashamed to admit is the thing that connects me most to other people. Isn't that crazy? It's true in songwriting, it's true in marketing, it's true in life, it's true in communication and friendships. What are you ashamed to admit? You might be surprised by how that aspect of yourself is what connects you to other people. To give you a little example from my own life in this crowdfunder, right? I was asking myself this question this morning. What am I ashamed to admit? Well, in a way, what I'm ashamed to admit about this crowdfunder and about raising the £20,000 for this album is that when I was in my early 20s, it was easy for me to go out in the world, do tours, do big radio shows, have a very, very public profile. And on an ego level, it felt nice to be asked to go on the TV, asked to go on the radio, asked to do these big concerts, and it looked good, and I put it on my social media, I'm doing all this kind of cool stuff, and it was really easy to raise a lot of capital when I was that guy. And the truth is, now I'm a dad, and you know, the options I have in the way that I do my career are a particular way. Like, I'm choosing to do online concerts, I'm choosing to do more stuff online, I'm choosing to do less public profile stuff to just maintain, honestly, my mental stability to some extent, because jumping around the world, doing these high level things, it did used to take a toll on my mental health to some extent. But now I feel like I'm able to maintain my nervous system, regulate my nervous system, be around for my wee one, Rosa, and build this amazing life, still as a songwriter, but in a much healthier way, in a much closer to home way, and in a much more, I'm available to her, to be her dad way, right? So honestly, that's the story behind why I want to raise this £20,000 is that was something which I could have done very, very, very easily when I was really, really in the public eye, and when I was doing all these big gigs and just making a lot more money from the big gigs, right? So that's the truth now. Is my story now is like, well, I am at home and I still want to make this big album. I still want to make this big, expensive album. And on some levels, I feel some shame in admitting that, but at the end of the day, that's the real truth, and that's actually the bottom line on the whole crowdfunder. So that's me live giving you an example of how what you're ashamed to admit often is the thing which is the most connective, often is the thing which is the most interesting even. Number 5, guys, this is a mega, mega one. I was thinking last night about intention. I always jot down some notes before I make the Sunday catch-up the night before. And I was thinking about my circle. I was thinking how lucky I am these days, and everyone in my circle is just amazing. I'm so blessed. My friends, my girlfriend, everyone around me is just great and is supportive and is really aligned with helping me move towards my goals, and I'm aligned with helping them move towards their goals. And the energy around me is a very, very supportive energy. It's a beautiful, beautiful energy. And all you guys in the club, are just amazing. And it gives me energy to serve you guys and to show up for you guys and to be in amongst this positive space in the internet. And I just feel so blessed now to have a circle around me of positivity. One of my favorite songs is a guy called Young Wylan, and the song is called, I think it's called Good Energy. It says, good energy, I don't need no negativity around me. High frequency, high God. But my 5th question to you, my final thought to you guys, is if you're trying to build a really pure intention in yourself, does your circle support your intention? Do the people around you make little snidey jokes? Do they kind of talk down to your dreams? Do they be quote-unquote reasonable and rational in a way that suffocates the light and the energy out of your dreams? There's a lot of negativity in the world. And I don't mean negativity, I'm not judging people. You live your life however you want. I've been both. I've been negative. I've been positive. I've been a guy who sat around watching other people make art, watching other people do things in the world, and I've been negative and said, that's no good. I would do it like this. I would do it like that. It's like that saying, you're the perfect parent till you have your own child. Well, the same is true for putting yourself out there. You're the perfect public figure. You're the perfect artist. You know exactly how you do it, and then guess what? You put yourself out there. You're not perfect. You're a human. You are a human being. You're not here to be perfect. None of us are here to be perfect. But I do believe we are here to help one another. I do believe we are here to serve one another. And the fastest way to get there is to do the work on changing yourself. It's easier to put on sandals than it is to coat the whole world in leather. Now, so many of us are out there trying to change the world, trying to change the system, trying to change other people. But as Mahatma Gandhi said, be the change that you want to see in the world. Be it. Be it, and then you will attract the people who align with your mission. I had to release a lot of people who I loved, who I cared about, who were good people, but who just were negative, basically. Who would, even, not in an obvious way, but who even might make little jokes. Oh, really, you're going to build 10,000 followers? I don't see it. People, you need a label to do that. Goodbye. Goodbye in the best possible way, with the best will in the world. Good luck and goodbye. I'm going to do it. Nah, mate, I don't think you can raise 20 grand in 30 days. Cool, no problem. That's fine. I'm going to hang out with the people who do. And guess what, guys? Is it about hitting that target? Is that what it's about? I don't think so. I don't think so. I think what it's about is resting in the belief that anything is possible and being surrounded by other people who rest in the belief that anything is possible. And I'll leave you with that. I want you guys to think about this week. Are the people around you people who help you believe that anything is possible? Are the people around you people who you feel safe to discuss your dreams with? Ask your body. Your body knows. And if that's not the case right now, you can find it. Come and join us in the club. Come and get coached. Nothing wrong with paying for coaching to get what you need. Before I had my circle now, I had a hypnotherapist, I had a coach, I had a therapist, I had a boxing coach, I had a PT, and I just listened to podcasts. I just listened to good stuff that primed my mind, and I hung out with people that I paid to help me to get to that next level. And then I started to attract great people into my life. If that's where you are right now, there's nothing wrong with that. I just want to tell you that. And that conditioning that will make you suffer, saying, I should have all this for free. If I was a good person, I'd have it for free. That's not true. That's just not how society is anymore. I'm sorry to say it, but it's true. And really all you can focus on is build yourself, make yourself the best person that you can be, and then attract those other good people. You guys, send a huge love. And if you've made it this far into the video, let me tell you one thing. You're doing better than 99.9% of people are just not working on themselves. That's sad, but it's true. 99.9% of people would rather just go to McDonald's, shout at their partner, get drunk, eat terrible food, not work out, not think self-consciously, not take responsibility. That's how most of us live, guys. So if you're watching stuff like this and you're even making it this far, I just want to send you a huge amount of love and respect. If you guys want to support my crowdfunder, you can click the link in the top comment and help me make this album. There's 28 days left. I believe we're on £500 right now. We're going to hit 20,000 across the next 28 days. I'm going to be sharing the behind the scenes on how I'm doing it, on the process. And we're going to make the best album that I've ever made. We're going to make the best movie that I've ever made. And I'm going to do it only with your help. I can only do it with your help. Get involved. Help me do this thing. God bless you guys. Have a fantastic week. Sending big love.